Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Niners Sickness podcast. How's everybody doing today? I am your host, Niners Sickness. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Mariah? Good to see Mariah in the house. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Welcome, welcome. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are going to show up, but I decided to go live at the last minute, talk a little bit of free agency, talk about the possibilities of Niners retaining certain players or losing certain players to free agency. Who the Niners are going to be targeting? Who should they bring in? What position should the Niners strengthen? Based on what we saw last year, we don't have that many holes, but we do have some areas of concern, mainly to replace a Javon Kinlaw. Is Javon Kinlaw truly the answer to the Niners defensive line? Absolutely not. Should the Niners do something to upgrade that position? I think that's something they should really look at. But before we get started, please do me a favor and wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy Niners Sickness. And we're going to talk about the free agents that the Niners have right now. Now, the defense is going to look completely different from the 2022 season once we start the 2023 season. First and foremost, we lost our defensive coordinator. Excuse me. We lost our defensive coordinator. He became the new head coach of the Houston Texans and DeMeco Ryans. But the Niners went ahead and brought in Steve Wilks, formerly head coach or interim coach of the Panthers. He was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals for a year before the Arizona did him completely wrong. So there's going to be a change there. Now, who is Steve Wilks going to bring from the Panthers? We're going to look at possible free agents from the Carolina Panthers. And we're also looking at just not every free agent. We're going to look at fits. What fits with the 49ers and what cost fits with the 49ers, because it's not just about bringing in a player because he's a free agent. Does he fit the scheme? Does he fit the price? Because we got to stay within a certain amount of price, because we are going to be extending one Nick Bosa. And once we extend him, how much of that is going to go against the cap? Will the Niners be able to work some contracts? Because everything we need to focus on is the signing bonus, right? Because the signing bonus is what counts really against the cap. Once they restructure or redo or extend, if you will, the Nick Bosa contract, he's probably going to get around somewhere between 35 to 40 million in signing bonus. So you break that down, it's probably going to be around what? 7 to 8 million against the cap. Who should the Niners extend as well? I was thinking earlier about Eric Armstead, but then I thought, well, Eric Armstead is probably not someone that we want to extend. I like him as a player. I see him being here for another year, maybe possibly next year. We trade him based on who we bring in. but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me go here real quick. Give me 1 second. Don't want to go ahead of myself. Give me 1 second. All right, we're going to go here. We're going to look at the 49ers. Where's the 49ers at? All right. So the 49ers right now are 3,187,000 over the cap, not under the cap, excuse me. But once they extend Bosa, once they work some contracts, they'll be able to free some money. Which player should be extended? I thought for a minute it should be Eric Armstead, but because Eric Armstead, we're going to have a cap hit of 23,948,000, right? But do you want to extend his contract? And then I was talking to Rohan earlier on a different show, and he made a interesting point. He said, why not try to extend Fred Warner? He's in his first extended contract. You can extend Fred Warner. Fred Warner is going to be about $18 million. His signing bonus is going to be about $2.4 million. You restructure that, you can free up some money to bring a free agent. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Real quick, I just want to say welcome, Tyree. Welcome, Tech Village Idiot. Welcome to the stream. Should the Niners bring in a big free agent? Or should the Niners bring just a few pieces at the minimum wage or at the lowest price they can get and bring pieces like that? Because let's look at the 2023 free agents. Give me 1 second. All right, let's look at the free agents. Let's see. All right. So, what's up, Daniel? Welcome, Melissa. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you guys. Love the new look, Beto. Have a great time. Fam, just wanted to stop and say hi before. No worries, little sis. I love you, girl. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by and supporting the channel. Always a pleasure having you stop by. Thank you. So, free agents. Let's see here. We're going to look at a possibility that we can look, a player we can look at is Javon Hargrave, Javon Hargrave from Philadelphia Eagles. His contract projection is a 3-year, $55 million, about 18.33 per year, about 36 total guaranteed. Now, I would be curious what the signing bonus would be. That is someone that we can look at. He's a massive guy. He's 30 years old. Had a great year for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a big guy that can stop the run. He's an inside tackle. Basically, he would be replacing Javon Kinlaw. He's good against the pass rush. He can get after the quarterback. He can stop the run because Listen, I never doubted the ability of Javon Kinlaw. I think Javon Kinlaw is a great player. Unfortunately, with Javon Kinlaw, the issues with his knee is just too much. It seems like he just cannot get over the injury to his knee, and he's always missing games. The best ability is availability, and he's just not there. I don't think the Niners can go in the 2023 season dependent on Javon Kinlaw. With that said, I personally don't think that the Niners will pick up his fifth-year option. I think they will concentrate more on picking up Brandon Ayukes. And sorry about that. That's my little dog sleeping. She likes to make little noises when she's sleeping. What's up, Joey? I think the Niners go cheap this offseason and don't bring a new CMC type of splash this time. I'm going to make a point, Joe, in a few minutes. And I think the Niners could possibly do the opposite of what you mentioned. I think the Niners will bring one big splash player. But is it going to be offensively? Is it going to be on the defensive side? What position is the most important position other than quarterback? David McNiners is in the house. What's up, Beto? And the Niner Empire, thank you for wiping your feet. Appreciate that very, very much. So, the Niners, let me look at the Niners free agents. Hold on, guys. All right, here we go. All right, so the 49ers free agents is Jimmy Ward, free safety, Jimmy Garoppolo, who we don't really care about, Sampson, defensive end, Emmanuel Mosley, Mike McClinchy, Aziz Al-Ashir, never can say his name properly, our kicker, Robbie Gould, Daniel Brunskill, our tackle who can play guard, Hassan Ridgeway, a D tackle. They brought him on a 1-year deal. He got hurt, but prior to getting hurt, he was pretty good. They may be able to bring him back at a minimum wage, so I can see him coming back. You got Kerry Hyder, defensive end, 31 years old. He didn't really do much. Should the Niners bring him back? Probably not. Probably not. You got Tyler Croft, tight end. If you can't block Hassan Reddick, then you shouldn't be on the team. He's a free agent. You got Maurice Hurst. Now, Maurice Hurst is an interesting player. The Niners picked him up from the Raiders. Since he's been with the Niners, he's been hurt. He hasn't really been able to show the Niners what he's made of. I would love to see him in another 1-year contract just to kind of get an idea of what he can do with this defense under Steve Wilkes and Chris Kasarik. I don't think he'll cost that much. He's been hurt. I don't think nobody's really going to be pursuing him this offseason. So I think he can definitely be someone that the Niners bring back at a reasonable price for 1 year. You got Tashawn Gibson, who I'm also very, very interested in. Tashawn Gibson, free safety, 32 years old. He played very good football. He had a great year. Now, did he outplay a contract with the 49ers? Because he played so well in 2022. Did he happen to outplay his contract? What do I mean outplayed? In other words, are other teams going to pursue him for his services? And will they offer too much that the Niners will not try to match? I hope they can bring him back on another 1 year. I love the way Tashawn Gibson worked with Hufanga. Those two guys worked with each other very well. So I'll be interested to see if the Niners are able to sign him to a year. Then we got Josh Johnson, which we all know we don't want him. We don't want him back. I think the Niners may pursue a free agent quarterback, not somebody that is going to, not a Minshew. He's going to cost too much money, but maybe like a Mike White from the Jets, maybe Heineke from the Commanders, a vet like that the Niners can bring at about $9 to $10 million a year. We got Jordan Willis. Jordan Willis, I think the Niners could bring back on another 1 year deal. He's 27. He'll be 28 when the season starts. So I think he should be one that the Niners consider on bringing back. Joe says probably going to see what all the new draftees that didn't play can do now, like Kalia Davis, Marcino, and Womack. Well, Womack kind of played, but Poe, I would love to see what Jason Poe can do. Sakal is also very interesting candidate to see what he does on the offensive line. I'm curious to see what he looks like. David McNiner says right tackle. Yeah, most likely we're not going to bring Mike McGlinchey back. Not because the Niners don't want him. I think the Niners would love to have Mike McGlinchey come back. I think that even though a lot of Niner fans are not too happy with him, don't want him back, I think that he's a pretty decent right tackle. But I think that he outplayed a contract with us as well. I think someone like the Bears, teams that have a lot of money, will try to pursue him. And I just think the Niners will not be able to afford the services of Mike McGlinchey. So I think he will be gone. Now, do the Niners have someone already in-house? A Jalen Moore? Do they sign? Do they put McKivitz there? Do they put Sakal there? Or do the Niners bring a free agent? Or do they draft McGlinchey's replacement? Now, I don't know about bringing in a rookie. Although this year we had two, right? Well, technically Aaron Banks wasn't a rookie, but he was playing his first year as a starter. And Spencer Burford was a rookie. But we got to protect whoever's going to be at quarterback, whether it's Brock Purdy, whether it's Trey Lance. We got to make sure that they are protected. The offensive line played for the most part very well. Can we continue to build on that? We're going to lose a couple of pieces. Jake Brundle is also a free agent. Our center, our right tackle, our free agents. Do you guys want to bring Jake Brundle back? Do you think the Niners should pursue a different center? Do you think Jake Brundle did enough to welcome him back? Or do you think that we should move on either in the draft or in free agency? Or do we already have someone on the roster that can possibly replace Jake Brundle if the Niners don't bring him back? That'll be interesting to see. Tech Village Idiot says it hasn't really been our MO to big pay money for interior linemen. I don't think, well, only because we haven't had the need to do that. We had DeForest Buckner, which we drafted. And then when we let him go in free agency, the number one pick that we got for him, we utilized that number one pick and drafted Javon Kinlaw in the hopes that Javon Kinlaw would have replaced the production of DeForest Buckner. But unfortunately, it hasn't planned out. Now, me personally, thought it was a mistake to let DJ Jones walk. I understand they were putting their eggs in one basket on Javon Kinlaw, a first overall pick, in a first round, 14th overall. But I think they should have really kept DJ Jones. I think DJ Jones was really, really missed this year. His production, the way he moves offensive linemen, the way he goes after the quarterback, the way he anchors down and helps stop the run. I think that by losing DJ Jones, we left a big void on our defense. Now, I understand the Niners were looking at Javon Kinlaw. They were hoping Javon Kinlaw can be the player that they drafted him to be, but it just hasn't worked out. Eric, welcome, brother. Welcome to the chat. It just hasn't worked out, unfortunately, for Javon Kinlaw due to the knee issues that he has. And I don't think he's going to work out. I think that the Niners are just going to let his contract run out and probably release him. So the Niners need to definitely consider bringing in inside interior guy to replace Javon. I don't think that the people that, because Kevin Givens, he's a D tackle, but he's also a free agent. Jason Verrett is a free agent. Now, I don't know about you guys. Should the Niners bring back Jason Verrett on another 1 year prove-it deal? Or you think that the experiment with Jason Verrett, it's over with in San Francisco? Do you guys think that we should just move on from Jason Verrett? Or do you think that we should consider bringing him back for another year and hopefully he stays healthy? I'm curious to know from you, the viewers, should we bring Jason Verrett back? Or should we just move on and let him go? That's an interesting question that I would love to see your guys' answer. We got Falaos. I can't pronounce his name. Demetris Flagan. And then we have Kevin Givens that I mentioned. Colton McKivitz is a free agent. Travarius Moore. Charlie Aminihue. And then Juwan. Now, Juwan Jennings he's I forgot what it's called, but he's like a restricted free agent. So most likely he would be back. How many more years on Kinlaw? Kinlaw was drafted in 2020 on a 4-year contract and with the option to pick up a 5th year if we need to, because he was a first round pick. So he has 1 more year left. So in 2024, he'll be a free agent. So the Niners may want to just go with him, but I don't know. I don't know if it's smart to go with him. If he gets hurt, we're gonna be playing that musical chairs with Javon Kinlaw. I think we need to bring someone in from free agency, plug him in next to Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead. Hopefully, Dre Jackson can handle the responsibilities opposite of Bosa as a D-end. And Kinlaw can just be a rotational player in 2023, and then 2024, we just let him go. We let him walk. They're going to give Kinlaw another year and sign a cheap veteran. Well, he's going to be with us this year because the Niners signed him to a 4-year deal when he was drafted. His 4th year is in 2024. So he will be available to leave then. Bringing back DeForest Buckner is not a good thing because first and foremost, he's under contract with the Colts. We would have to give the Colts trade. They gave us their number 1 for DeForest Buckner. If we want to trade for DeForest Buckner, they're going to require a number 1 for him. So I just don't see the ability of bringing back DeForest Buckner to this team. I think the Niners have moved on. He's with the Colts doing his thing. The Niners need to look at some possible free agents. Now, before I talk about agents that we should bring on the outside, let me talk a little bit about the ones that I think the Niners should truly work on bringing back. Okay. Let's see here. Give me a second. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, by the way. I would appreciate that. So, I don't think the Niners should bring back Samson. I think somebody's going to offer him a little bit more money than he deserves, in my opinion. And I don't think the Niners are just going to be spending that type of money on Samson. Now, one of the players that I would love to bring back, and this player is not coming back on a 1-year deal. He got hurt last season. It was a season-ending injury. He was hurt. He went on IR. And people normally, they go on IR. You can probably bring him back on a 1-year deal, because teams are not going to pursue injured players that much. But this particular player is a really good player. He just unfortunately got hurt. And I think that this guy value is high. I think defensive coordinators and teams will be looking for his services. And I think the Niners will have to give him a generous contract to keep him. And that player is Emmanuel Mosley. I think the Niners really, really should try to bring back Emmanuel Mosley, not let him go. But again, I don't see him doing a 1-year deal. So you're going to have to look at about a 3-year deal on Emmanuel Mosley. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how Parag, John Lynch is going to do that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Can they bring him back on a 1-year deal? Will he come back as a 1-year deal? I don't think he would. I think he would demand more. We'll have to see. Now, Aziz, linebacker, probably won't be back. I would love to bring him back. I would love to keep the core of our trio linebackers, Aziz, Greenlaw, and Fred Warner. But I think that there's a possibility that Aziz goes and follows D'Amico Ryans to the Houston Texans and becomes a Fred Warner version of the Texans. They build around Aziz over there in Houston. So I think that D'Amico Ryans will pursue Aziz. So I don't see him coming back. Robbie Gould. Now this is interesting. This is an interesting player. Robbie Gould. He's 40 years old. Now he's a kicker, right? So should the Niners look at other free agents? Should the Niners consider drafting a kicker in the later rounds? Or should the Niners bring back Robbie Gould? And if we bring Robbie Gould back, it should not be for another huge contract like it was the first time. I think they should bring him on a 2-year deal. I don't know if he's going to be pursued by other teams or not. But I would like to bring him back on a 2-year deal. I would like to see you guys in the comments. Let me know. Should we bring back Robbie Gould? Should we move on? Should we draft his replacement? Should we look for his replacement in free agency? I would love your input on that. Another player that I think we could bring back on a 1-year deal would be Daniel Brunskill. I think Daniel Brunskill could be brought back on a 1-year deal. I like the fact that Daniel Brunskill can play any position on the line. He can play at all 5 positions: left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. I would love to bring Daniel Brunskill back. I think they can bring him back on a 1-year deal. We're going to have to look at that. Now, again, this cat right here, Hassan Ridgeway, he was brought in on 1-year deal, was playing good football, in my opinion, but unfortunately he got hurt. I would love to bring him back on a 1-year deal and see what we have in this young man. Oh, that's the one hole in that plan. The defensive, the inside tackle. Jake Moody from Michigan is an automatic kicker. Hope we can draft him. I haven't looked too, I'm going to be honest, I haven't really looked too much into kickers. I've been looking at safeties. I've been looking at tight ends. And obviously, I've been looking at offensive linemen and defensive linemen. That's where I've been doing my homework on. I haven't really looked at kickers, but I will take note of this name, Jake Moody. We'll have two Moody in the roster if they draft him. I think that's what they call Ward, right? Mooney, or it's maybe spelled different. But I'll be interested to see what the Niners do. Do the Niners sign Robbie Gould? Do they let him walk, sign another free agent, or draft? Now, we're going to know before the draft whether Robbie Gould is going to be part of this team or not. Because in March, the free agency starts, and we'll have an indication of whether we'll be drafting a kicker or not. So we should stay tuned to that. That'll be interesting. Now, this guy I mentioned, he's 27. He'll be 28 when the season starts. Maurice Hurst. I know that he hasn't really done much for the team. Pretty much hasn't really done a lot at all since he's been hurt most of his time since he's been with us. But I like him. He's a big guy. He can plug the hole. He can anchor down, and he can go after the quarterback. I think the Niners can bring him back on a 1-year deal, prove-it deal. I think he won't cost much. He'll cost pretty cheap. So that's someone that I would like to bring back. Now, this guy here, I would really, really want to bring back. Could the Niners afford him, though? He played so well for the Niners in 2022 that he might have played himself out of a contract by us. Somebody out there might offer him more. Tashawn Gibson, free safety. I'll be honest with you. When they signed him last year, I'm like, really, Tashawn Gibson? He was okay, but he's kind of old now. He's going the opposite way. He's going to be someone that, is just going to be a backup. And the reason why they signed him is because Jimmy Ward got hurt. If Jimmy Ward would have never got hurt, I don't think they would have even brought in Tashawn Gibson. The fact that Jimmy Ward got hurt, they considered and talked to Tashawn, and they brought him in, and the whole purpose was for Tashawn Gibson to fill in for Jimmy Ward until Jimmy Ward got better. The problem for Jimmy Ward was that Tashawn Gibson played so damn well that he never relinquished his position back to Jimmy Ward. In fact, because we needed an inside corner, slot corner, they moved Jimmy to a position that he doesn't like. But Tashawn Gibson was playing so damn well that the Niners were not going to move him from that position. I would love to bring him back. And then we got, you got your McKivitz, you got your Kevin Givens, your Charlie Minihue, and I think Charlie Minihue won't be back. I think he outplayed his contract as well. I think somebody will throw the bag at him, and he'll go to a team and hopefully do well. What's up? Javier Rios is in the house. Jimmy G is ready to play. Told me he's waiting for the call. I don't know who's going to call him. I'm pretty sure somebody will call him. I'm pretty sure he will play. It's just not going to be the Niners for sure. But welcome, Senor Rios. So the Travarius Moore, we'll see. Jordan Willis is interesting to see if we bring him back. At what cost? Now we have our long snapper, Tabor Pepper. Tabor Pepper. I think the Niners will bring him back on a maybe 2-year deal. He's 28. I see him coming back, hopefully. So those are the free agents of the 49ers. Now, let me look for Washington, because there are 2 players that are going to be free agents. Now, keep in mind, Washington just signed to a big contract. Jonathan, I'm trying to think of his last name. What is his last name? Jonathan Allen, I think is his name. Hopefully, I'm not messing it up. I don't know if they can sign another big contract, because they got to sign him. They got to sign a few others. But 2 players that are free agents is going to be Javon Hargrave, D tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is my second choice to replace a Javon Kinlaw. I think he will be a great complement to Nick Bosa. I think that his presence next to Bosa in the middle will elevate the ability of Eric Armstead, the way Eric Armstead played when DeForest Buckner was there in 2019. And then hopefully Drake Jackson is the answer at the opposite of Nick Bosa at defensive end. So Javon Hargrave is my second option. My first desire and want is Daron Payne. Daron Payne, D tackle. He's 25. He'll be 26 when the season starts. The problem with Daron Payne, this will be his first contract. Okay? He's going to be paid quite a bit. So this would be a big splash for the 49ers. I want it to happen. Maybe I don't see it happening. The fact that we're paying Nick Bosa. Now keep in mind, even if we pay Nick Bosa a huge contract, the only thing we should be concerned about is what the signing bonus is going to be. And the signing bonus goes off the guarantee money. What is Bosa's guarantee going to be? Because the guarantee money is what goes against the cap. So yes, if the Niners restructure a Fred Warner, and then they're going to save money by doing and extending Nick Bosa. And then there's another player. Oh, and CMC, Christian McCaffrey. They're going to extend his contract, rework it, so they can pull money from those 3 players and build up enough to bring in a Daron Payne. But the problem is This year, we can have a Eric Armstead, a Deron Payne, a Nick Bosa. But next year, it's going to be hard to, against the cap, to have those three on the defense. So, is it possible that they can trade Eric Armstead next year? But the dead money might be too much. So this is something where Parag would have to work out to see. This is why, even though I want Deron Payne, really, really want him on the defense, I just see it not being possible. But with the magic of Parag, I've seen him do other things that I never thought we can do. So they're projecting $20 million per Payne. Let's be realistic. No, I understand, Tech. Again, this is why I'm saying this is someone that I want, but it's hard for me to wrap around that we can get him. I don't think we can afford him. So Javon Hargrave would be the number 2 instead of Payne. I know there's a D tackle from Carolina. I don't remember. Let's see if I can find it. I don't remember the name, but he may follow Steve Wilkes to San Francisco. And I don't think he will cost that much. Let's see if I can find him. So is he a free agent, or the Niners would trade for? And I'm not talking about their top. I'm not talking about their top pass rusher. I'm not talking about their top pass rusher. We're not getting him. Okay, Corey Littleton, inside linebacker, who also can be used as a pass rusher, is someone that the Niners may consider bringing in at a reasonable price. He may follow Steve Wilkes to San Francisco. Let's see here. Let's see what all the D tackles that are available. So you have Jason Musgrave. You have Deron Payne that I talked about. There was another name that people have been bringing up. I can't seem to find him. But we would have to see what the Niners do first and foremost with their free agents. Do we bring back Jordan Willis? Do we bring back Kevin Givens? Those guys will both get a lot of money than Jones, who went and didn't want to play. Jones, who we did not want to pay. I don't know why I say play. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still bothered by the letting go of DJ Jones. I think that was a huge mistake by the 49ers. I think the Niners should have kept DJ Jones. Let me shake my I have water with lemon. I love water with lemon, but the lemon sits on the bottom of the cup. So if I don't shake it and I take a swig, I'll take a cigarette of all that lemon. Mm. And I put a lot of lemon. I love lemon with water. Um, I know Fletcher Cox could be someone that we can look at, but he's up there in age. He's 32. He'll be 33 when the season starts. I don't know if that's someone that we should invest in. And people have told me, Niner Sickness, what about defensive end? I just think that any defensive end that is worth looking at is probably going to cost too much. Like, I love to take a look at Robert Quinn. A lot of people, for some reason, don't like Robert Quinn. They're like, he's heading downhill. He's not going to be that good. The guy had he had like 16 or something sacks. He had double digit sacks this year. He played out of his mind for Philadelphia. Or was it last year? One of those years. A lot of people like, I can't pronounce his name. He's a defensive end from the Colts. Anakwi. I am so bad pronouncing certain names. He might be a little bit too much for us as well. And then now you have someone like Clowning. Clowning is 30 years old. He'll be 30 when the season starts. He plays good. He'll be reasonable. But should we invest in a player that has been known to get hurt? I really hope that Drake Jackson really works out for us. I really hope he's this whole offseason he builds muscle, builds strength, and he can come out. The reason why the Niners did not play him the last few games, I was always wondering why he was a healthy scratch. Like, why isn't he on the roster? It's because, according to Kyle Shanahan, towards the end of the season, he started to lose gas. In college, he don't play that many games. So he wasn't completely fit to handle all those games. And he started to run out of gas, according to Shanahan. So Shanahan thought best, let's just shut him down for the year. Hopefully he works on his strength and conditioning and he's ready to rock and roll in 2023 and he can play in all 17 games. David. Now the Saints are going to lose a lot of players. Let me see who you're talking about real quick. D tackle from the Saints. I didn't see him. Oh, here he is. He's 30 years old, 7 years in the league. He was a 4th round pick, 120th overall in 2016. That's an interesting name. I know that the Saints are going to have to do a firewall sale. They're going to have to they're going to have to do a lot of changes in New Orleans to get under the cap. But that's a name that I would definitely keep a lookout for there, David, and see what happens. So going back to the defensive ends, you have Clowning, you have Who do you have here? Oh, this is the one that I like. Marcus Davenport. I would love. He's 26. He's been hurt before with the Saints. Again, the Saints won't be able to keep him. They're going to have to do a fire sale. The Saints are so way over the cap. They're going just restructuring contracts is not going to be enough. They're going to have to let a lot of players go, and I think that Marcus Davenport will be a casualty of the Saints being way over the cap. And Marcus Davenport has been in the league for 5 years. He's a first round, 14th overall, basically in the same spot that we took Javon Kinlaw. In 2018, he was drafted. Now, I don't know how much money it would take to bring him to San Francisco, but I think this kid, when he's healthy, and that's a big if, unfortunately with him, will be dangerous. This kid can rush the passer. Marcus Davenport can rush the passer. Imagine having Marcus Davenport, Eric Armstead. Maybe we bring back Kevin Givens in the inside, or even Javon Kinlaw, and you have Nick Bosa. Having Nick Bosa and Marcus Davenport on each side will be a great combination, in my opinion. I would love to see someone like that. Some people have told me Justin Houston. He'll be at a very minimum affordable price. Get him for 1 year. He's up there in age. He's 34, but he will be just a pass rush specialist. He'll probably come out on 3rd and long and just use him to pin his ears back and go after the quarterback at minimum wage. You got Arden Key. Now, I don't think Arden Key will leave the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars will re-sign him personally, but I would love to see if we can bring back Arden Key. We should have kept him, but it is what it is. And then there's another player that I was looking at. He's 28, Dante Flower Jr., defensive end. That would be somebody that I would be interested in seeing play for the Niners as well. Now, there's another player out there that could be brought in specifically as a pass rush specialist, only on 3rd and longs. That would be Jason Pierre-Paul. Jason Pierre-Paul will be a player that will work great alongside of Bosa, but I don't think he's an every down DN. I think you can bring Drake Jackson in, and then on 3rd down, bring in Jason Pierre-Paul and let him just pin his ears back and just go after the quarterback. I would love to see what he can do. Mr. Joe says, well, welcome to the show. Davenport played 15 and had 30 tackles and 1 sack. No, thank you. Now, that was in New Orleans, and that was coming off an injury under Chris Kaserik. I think Davenport will be a monster. If you look at the year before, if you look at 2021, he was a monster for the Saints. Look at his production in 2021 and come and holler at me. Now, if he wants to get paid too much money, then no, I'm with you. By the production that he did last year, He is not worth a lot of money, but if he comes to us at a reasonable price, I would love to have him. Um, but those are the guys. Oh my God. Solomon Thomas is on there. Nope. No, thank you. Um, uh, Treverius Streets. He didn't really work out for us. No, thank you. He's a free agent. What's up, David Villa is in the house. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the channel. What's up, Faithful? Niners sickness. Niners best in the world. Can't wait for next season. I appreciate that, David, for all the love. Um, we're just talking free agents. I'm about to end the show, but we're talking about free agents. We talked about the free agents that we have that we want to bring back, that at least I want to bring back, and possible free agents that we can bring from the outside in. They can be great for this system, under this scheme, under Steve Wilkes. How many defensive ends that we have free out there will come back? I don't think they'll bring back Charlie Mayhew, not because they don't want him. I just think someone will offer him a little bit too much. Jordan Willis is a possible. Kevin Givens is possible to bring back. I don't know about Kevin Hyder. I don't even know if we should bring him back, even if he is available. But on a 1-year deal, they probably would. But if anyone we can bring in will be not necessarily a defensive end, but I would love for the Niners to bring in a D tackle. I think that's a position that we really, really need to bring in and look at. I know we need to look at a right tackle on the offensive line, and I probably will do another live on another day, and we can talk about the offensive line. But this tonight, I mainly stuck with the defensive line. I don't think Javon Kinlaw is the answer to the Niners defense. I think the Niners should be done with him. I think the Niners will let him play out his contract this year, and then next year just let him walk. So the two players that I would love the Niners to bring, and again, I'm not saying there's a possibility they will be here. I'm not saying the Niners can afford them. All I'm saying is if Parag can make his magic, and for some reason we can make it work, the two players that I would love to bring to this defense, number one will be Daron Payne. Daron Payne would be my number one crush in free agency to come in. Then it would be Javon Hartgrave. So my first option would be Daron Payne. Or if he's too much, we can't get him, then Javon Hartgrave will be my second crush to come out and make this defense better with Steve Wilkes at the helm. Imagine Nick Bosa, either Payne or Hartgrave next to him. You have Eric Armstead, and hopefully Drake Jackson is who we want him to be. That front four would be dangerous. And then you still have Fred Warner and Greenlaw. I would like to see what happens. this offseason will be interesting. I know it's a little slow right now. I understand that the season's over. It's a little slow, but I'm going to continue to keep my content going. I'm going to continue to talk about the Niners. So keep an eye out for my channel. I will post, I will try to do pre-schedule with thumbnails so that you guys will know ahead of time. But sometimes I may just go live at the spur of the moment. So make sure that if you're following me on YouTube to have that notification on. And I believe Facebook offers it too on my page. So when I do go live, if you're not busy, you can always join in and chit chat with me. So that is my show for tonight, everyone. I appreciate everyone who came in tonight and hanged out with me. You guys are amazing. You guys are the best. Thank you for always supporting the Niner Sickness podcast, supporting my channel. Appreciate you guys. Continue to keep an eye out for my channel. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. God bless. And I'll see you on the next podcast. Peace.